And we're live.
Okay.
All right. Now, I will start this off by sharing this. In North Carolina here, you can read that. Pull it down a little. Oop, wrong way. North Carolina. And this is recording conversations in all 50 states. It is not unlawful for an individual who is a party to or has consent from a party of an in-person or electronic communication to record and or disclose the content of said communication. South Carolina. It is not unlawful for an individual who is a party to or has consent from a party or electronic communication to record and or disclose the content of said communication. One more. Iowa. An individual has the right to record or disclose the contents of an oral, electronic, or telephonic communication that they are a party to, or if one of the parties has given prior consent to the recording of said communications. This is one party consent states. One party. So, the reason I bring that up, I will get to eventually. So, all right. When we last left off, Nathan, can you name one good thing that you have ever done for me? That's where we last left off. And he continues. Do you remember the little boy that kicked the cactus? Now, context. When I was like 7 or 8, I can't recall the exact age, I got angry at a cactus and I kicked it. Real stupid thing for a child to do, right? But I didn't know any better. And I had a cactus needle in my left foot. Yeah, my left foot, the length of my toenail. And we had to go to the doctor to have it removed, and all sorts of terrible bad stuff. And I didn't tell anyone. Now, what child is going to go and say, well, yeah, I kicked the cactus? No, I chose to not. And I addressed the answer to this to him in one of my previous conversations. So there's that. There's that. So he continues. Why didn't you tell me or your mom that you had kicked the cactus? And I sat there for about 20 minutes. I was working at this time, so I couldn't actively respond. I had a job to do, but when I eventually did, I was like, I responded with, why do you ask questions that I know I have already answered? Excuse me. Let me get this right. Why do you ask questions that I know I have already addressed when you will not answer mine? And also, I am not a child. Therefore, your attempt to remind me of my childhood is not valid. Why are you trying to remind me of my childhood when I am an adult anyway? What is your goal in getting me to remember my past? Good questions, right?
Yeah, perfectly valid questions.
Right. So
Decent
he responds with, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, is he going to give you a decent answer to those perfectly reasonable questions?
He responds with 2 questions.
Oh,
He doesn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What
this.
would you like to know, son? He responds with, what would you like to know, son? Why do you want me to remember the past, son?
He brought it up.
Uh-huh.
So why is he asking you why you want to talk about the past when he was addressing the past and has on previous occasions said the past doesn't matter? And yet he keeps referring back to it. Well, he's putting you in a position, I should imagine. I'm just trying to imagine being you. So it's a flight of fancy, I know. But if I were brutalized by my father and there was no outlet for that and I was just going to how it was, I would want as much control as I possibly could. And I would want as much dignity as I possibly could. And I would want to keep hold of that dignity at all costs. So rather than admit to doing something dumbass stupid, I wouldn't tell anyone about it for that
Now,
reason. And
all right.
also because I'm beating.
I
Probably.
will state this. He did not lay a abusive, truly abusive hand on me that I consider abusive until I was 11. So this was, I done fucked up. I'm a kid. I don't know what to do.
All right.
Yeah, that's all that was. So I respond to his questions with another question. Your cactus question to me involves the past. So who wants whom to remember the past exactly? And as to what I would like to know, I will only ask questions on the record. You know where to find me.
Good answer.
And I am speaking of course, this. And he has of yet to get on here, obviously. And he responds with, I couldn't understand what that meant. So I'm like, okay. And I respond with YouTube, Hangouts application, private video. That is a thing that can be done. A factual response.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. An answer to his question. Succinct and logical.
Uh-huh. Oh, and here comes the pissed off Brit. His response to that, me qualifying what I meant in a factual manner. Nathan, you are making no sense to me at all. Why do you have such a disrespectful attitude towards your father? Son, you have... wait. This is a long one. Son, you have wasted enough time in the organization. Why would you want to waste more time on them in any manner? Can you see that when you get over the past and get on with your life, the organization will no longer have control over your thoughts. They will want you to, they want you to hate on them. They want your, quote, time, end quote. Whether it's for or against them, you're still turning in your time on behalf of them. I will have nothing to do with wasting any more thought for or against anyone or anything. My life is my own. Can you say the same?
Oh my God. I've got over the past. Why can't you? I've got over being in a cult that totally justified my behavior to their shame, I hope. So why can't you?
Right?
Better than you in every way. Because I've got over things and you haven't. You're still stuck in the past, Nathan. What's wrong with you, son? What's wrong? You
Yeah.
stupid. I've got over everything. I'm fine. I'm peaceful. I'm God. I'm a God of love, man. What's wrong with you? You see how it's all turned back on you. It's your fault. You're diminished. You're less than. Pick your diminutive. That's what you are. You're less than.
Right.
Yeah? There's no respect for you caring about other people, is there? If you were my son and you had gone and, well, I wouldn't have beaten you. But say someone who wasn't your a close relative who saw you being kind to other people would at least be able to say, "Oh, well done for wanting to be kind." There'd at least be some acknowledgement of the fact that you want to be helpful to other people, wouldn't there? Most people would. They'd say, "Well done, mate. You're trying to be helpful to people. That's a nice thing. It's a good thing to do."
Yeah.
Oh, dear daddy here. Oh no, Nathan, you're wasting your time. You're still putting in your time record. I didn't know there was a box for that. Is there an apostasy?
Right. Okay. Okay.
Want people to hate on them, don't they? Idiot. That's why they've been having public relations payouts of millions of bucks trying to rebrand you, prick. Of course they don't want people thinking badly of them. This man is stupid as well as nasty. Of course they don't want anyone thinking badly of them.
Oh God, the opinionated Brit. Oh my God. All right. My response. I chose to speak up. So speaking up about abusive individuals is a bad thing then? And all abuse victims should stay silent? Question mark.
Good
All I
question.
heard all I heard from that is you are unwilling to face the questions that I have. You heard my terms, or excuse me, you have heard my terms. Regardless if you do it or not, I know my daughter is safe from you.
Yes, she is, luckily, at the moment. Despite his delusions of grandeur, the legal system is very clear. And it doesn't matter who you are, if you're going up against clear legal precedent, you're going to lose. Doesn't matter whether you think you're God or not. The courts tend not to give a shit about that.
Yeah.
And yet, oh no, he's going to be able to circumvent that, won't he? Of course you can, sir. Of course you can. You can just circumvent the laws of a nation. Of course you can. Yes, because you're so superior to everybody.
Oh man.
Because you've moved with your life. Oh my God.
Okay, here's where I go kind of emotional response, even though, it's whatever, but his response to that, and this is a long one again. Son, you're showing you're showing that you have no control over your life. The past rules your mind and heart. Hate rules you. What would make you think that you could have any control over my child adult life when you have no say over her as a child? Son, you really don't seem well. Why would you want to even presume control over anyone or anything in any manner? Please, though, tell her however you may to stay away from her grandfather. What do you think she will do? Do you think she's going to let anyone tell her what to do? Really? Well, son, you've proven to
Oh,
me that you can't be trusted. We both know, you and I, what motivates you, and it's not love. In what way have you ever shown love to me, son? You can't name one,
oh,
can you? You cannot name you can't name one, can you?
oh, God. Oh, it's all about him, isn't it?
Yup.
What is he, Janet Jack? What have you done for me lately? What the? Hang on, hang on, hang on. So you're his son,
Correct?
and you're supposed, like the Israelites, and offer a tribute or something? Is he expecting a sacrifice every month of a lamb's liver or something? And what the fuck does this man want?
He wants to be a part
You're
he
supposed to.
wants to be a part of my life, but that didn't get me. That did not get me. What got me was, what do you think she will do? Do you think she's going to let anyone tell her what to do?
You're
There
not
is
telling her.
record. Go
You're not
ahead.
telling her what to do. You're giving her facts about this monstrosity. Not telling her what to do at all. See how he's trying to gaslight that, as in you
Yeah.
control, and also playing on the whole cult thing of, oh, it's no point doing it because what do we say about apostate material? Is the more the Watchtower say don't do it, the more they be tempted to do it, and that's a truism of human nature. So he's gaslighting there very, very cleverly. You are never going to tell her what to do. You are going to give her factual information about a monstrous human being, and she can make her own choice.
And
That's what you're going.
that is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I can understand that. Everyone who's listening can understand that. He's gaslighting you, and he's trying to use Watchtower triggering to do it as well. Busted, sir.
Uh,
Doesn't It does not work. If you want to talk to your son, and I notice you always address him as son all the time, you're talking to one person, sir. He knows you're referring to him. You don't need to keep using son all the time as a weapon.
that's a
Yes,
good observation.
you're his offspring, but he's not yours. Forget that Bible bullshit. He's not yours. You had a little floaty thing and it went and joined with an egg and you made your son. It happens every fucking day. It does not make you anything else. Unless he
And the
chooses.
pissed off Brit.
What a nasty individual you are. I hope you have the courage one day to come on record and leave a comment. I hope you do. Because I don't like hating on people and I've never met you, but you're a monster. And I hope you dig yourself out of that hole. I really do. But you're going to have to do that.
To be fair, this is only one side of the story. Everyone only knows what I have experienced because I share that to help people, regardless of whatever reason. I share that. So if he was to come on and go, well, no, this is here, let me qualify whatever and prove you wrong or whatever, and prove me wrong, please. Please do it. But I know you won't because you're scared.
As I said, I'm quite happy for you to come on and prove my friend wrong. Do so. And I should apologize. I will. I shall absolutely apologize to you. But until that moment, I'm going to listen to my friend and hear what you say and interpret it, I think, correctly. And identify someone who is highly manipulative, highly controlling, and a bully. And not someone that I think anyone would want to spend any time with at all. So if you want to have any kind of decent human relationship in the future, your path is very clear. Go get yourself some help.
Ah,
Go get some help, and you start treating people decently. And if you don't know how to do that, get the help first. And then maybe you can learn how to treat people decently. I don't know.
and we don't know. All I
No.
can do is go on conjecture because he will not come on here. I want him to. I've gotten to the point in my life where I want him to prove me wrong.
Well, he has the opportunity. I've said on record that everything I've said up until this point, I will retract if he can prove Nathan wrong. If he can.
And Boss made a decent comment in the live chat. Words are weapons. You're right.
He's using the word son as a weapon to demean you. Because in his mind, you are less than. As we discussed before we went live, you are less than him. Always. And he is always right.
No, if he can prove that statement incorrect and have evidence for it, then I would assume that you would retract that statement.
I would. I absolutely would. People who know me know that I apologize and I mean it sincerely. I'm not afraid to be proven wrong. It's actually helpful to me to be a better person. In actual fact,
Yeah.
If I was cursed as being the only person on this planet who's right about everything, I would be truly cursed. It'd be a horrible life. Actually, I'm wrong about things a lot of the time. And when people put me right in a kind way, or in a bad way, if they've put me right, then I will be put right. I'll say, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, you're more tactful about that, but that's how it goes. If what you say is true and something I'm doing is not a healthy or decent way to live, then I do want to change and I want people to tell me. And that doesn't diminish me as a person, in my opinion. It actually makes me a better person because I am willing to say, yes, I've made a mistake. I thought that was the right thing to do and it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and fight. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But at least attempt to put it right. And at the very least, issue a sincere apology.
And then
It's the very least.
And then it's on the person that's being apologized to see if it is sincere or not.
And actions speak a hell of a lot louder than cheap old words. Words are ever so cheap, you know. Even if you want to print them in a newspaper, they cost pennies. They're ever so cheap.
Right.
And you can say a whole series of words that sound wonderful, but not mean any of them. So if you want to be forgiven, and all of us do when we mess up, then actions, how you behave, what you do matters a lot. It does for me. Words are just words, yeah. And if I trust someone, I will accept their word. And I'm not a totally distrustful person, but, you know, you have to earn that trust. And, you know, speak very loudly to me. Patterns of behavior speak very loudly to me. Because any of us can have a bad day. Any of us can mess up.
Right.
But behavior is very different. If someone is repeatedly like does a certain thing, that's very different to a one-off. Because all of us can have a fucking bad day.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah. Well, they should anyway.
Right.
But a pattern of behavior is different. And you, sir, have established a pattern of behavior that is monstrous. And you've got to own that. You've got to get inside that and feel what that's like. And you haven't. And if you did for a second know what that felt like, I think you would be apologetic. I hope you would. I don't know what particular mental ailment you suffer from. That's why I say go and get some help. Because I'm not a bloody psychologist. I don't know any of that stuff.
Right.
But I do know what decent behaviour is, and I do know what love is. I feel like Forrest Gump. I know what love is. But seriously, I do. We know these things. And the way you behaved and continue to behave is not, in my opinion, loving.
All right.
It's only my opinion.
All right. Now that we've qualified that, my response to his paragraph is I sent him the first 2 videos in this little series. And the one that popped up is the Nothing You Do Matters XJW activism. Also, I can't adult properly. And the caption in it, a broad statement to every ex-witness activist that there ever was, courtesy of my ex-witness father. And I keep going and I go, take some responsibility for your actions. And this conversation will be yet another video. So I tell him that I'm actively doing this.
Yeah.
So he knows. Yet again, here, prove me wrong. Get on record, and prove me wrong. Basically, I did not state that. The end of my statement was, and this conversation will be yet another video. End of statement. Everything else that I have said is my opinion of.
Yeah.
Okay. His response to that, oh, you have got to be kidding me. Son, do you think you are God setting in judgment?
No.
I do not.
Is the answer to that question. Next question.
Right? He continues. It shouldn't have to be said, son, but I will.
Like son all the time. It's really starting to irritate me now.
It shouldn't have to be said, son, but I will. Any conversation that you and I have ever had in private was indeed private. You do not have my permission to share with anyone these private conversations. You can tell, son, can't you, that you have proven to me that you are no longer trustworthy.
Oh, trigger.
No. See, what the trigger was you do not have my permission to share with anyone these private conversations. Now, I have a hold on. I have a recorded phone call with him. My father, ladies and gentlemen, y'all can look it up. Before I hit record, I made sure that I was in my legal right to do that conversation. The state that he is in and the state that I am in are one-party consent states. Hence the law that I read at the beginning of this video. So if he ever does happen to hear this, he can see it for himself in black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it feel for your opinion be completely irrelevant? Because that's how you make your son feel all the time.
And I choose not to believe that. I am me. I am a person that I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Screw it. I'm an adult.
We're back in a sec, man.
Yep. This is where it gets good. So I'll wait. And actually, I need to top off my coffee. So I'll be back.
Hello, I'm back. Sorry about
Okay,
that.
so am I. Okay. Let's see, where was I? No longer trustworthy. All right, hit my response to that, and I sat there for. I was at work, so no. It took me 6 minutes to respond and read that. So screw it, and I had to word this very specifically. I had to go through and filter it, not through text and this, that, and the other. And I had to filter this response in my head.
Yeah.
I go, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Also, this state is a one-party consent state. I looked it up. I don't need your permission. And so is where I messed this up. It should read, and so is where you are, and so is where are you, North Carolina or South? Either way, I don't think it matters. I believe that they are one-party consent states as well. Especially with that phone call. I made sure of the law before I even hit record.
And here's a way you can get trust, by being trustworthy yourself. And the way you can be trustworthy is to come on and leave a comment here. Won't be edited, won't be removed, it'll be there for you. And maybe you can put your side of the story, because from your point of view, trying to put myself in your place, which is very strange, but has to be done. If my son were as upset with me, I would, so rather than keep demeaning him and diminishing him, I would be trying to think, okay, my son is upset. How do I not make him upset? How do I comfort him? How do I stop making him feel this way? And the simplest way to do that would be to ask, how do I stop making you feel this way? And actually, you've already been told, and that is to comment on there if you want to talk to him, because there's your option. That's the way you do that. So if that's what you wanted to do, I don't know, but that is how you would do it. You would comment on there, or you would come on here live.
Now, I have zero problem, with giving him the link to this Hangout.
Yeah. If you're watching this now, you can come on.
He's not. It's probably Boss that's the viewer that's watching. Just saying. Hey, Boss.
But just I would add this. If he were to come on here live and start abusing you, as he has done in those texts, I would have to say to him, no. Because he needs to hear that word a lot more often. No.
And this is why I like doing this sort of thing with people, because one, it keeps me in check. It does.
Well, it's just a bit of comfort and someone to bounce off, and you know,
and that as well. That as well. It gives an outside of my own head opinion.
Yeah.
And honestly, with an opinion such as yours and Amanda's and even Linda's, what now as confirmation biased as Linda's is because of what she's gone through, and as confirmation biased as Amanda's is because of what she's gone through, they can still go and state, okay, I recognize this for what it is, and you're still full of shit.
And along comes someone who's been abused in different ways and goes, yeah, I recognize exactly what Amanda and Linda have said. I was thinking, yes, I agree. That's three you out, I'm afraid.
And then there's you. You have no idea,
yeah,
other than what I have stated. You have no personal gain in this.
No.
So, no confirmation bias, as far as I can tell.
Well, as I say, I've been abused differently.
Yeah.
Seen the same. I agree with Amanda, and I agree with, and I see these things, and also, as I was saying earlier, this also marries up with cult indoctrination as well. There are a lot of people who think having a penis and testicles makes them a god.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't. It just means you've got a cock and balls, people. That's what it means. Some of us do, some of us don't. That's how it is. It doesn't mean a thing. So in this little closet cult, yes, that means a hell of a lot. In reality, it's just a state of being. That's all it is. That's all it is. A state of... Increasingly so in our society, it is a state of being. You are just a human being with whatever you have. And it matters not what you have. You're a human being. And it's in getting that way more and more. And I hope it gets there quicker. Instead of this bullshit the cult gave us. So you need to drop that crap. And also, oh, you own your children? No, you don't. You don't possess your children in the real world.
And that's a good point, son.
That's where we are. Yeah. Think about that, son. No one owns their son.
God, that makes me cringe.
Horrible, isn't it? And that's what I'm feeling. Time he uses that. So there's one. If you did nothing else from this, don't use that anymore. He knows you're talking to him. Okay. Just you don't need to keep ending things with that. Just a little tip. Let's see if he picks up on that.
He won't watch this. He's too afraid.
Coward.
But addressing the live chat. Hey Beth, have fun cooking the Chinese food.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds nice.
Right? Here we go. His response to my especially with that phone call, I made sure of the law before I even hit record. His response is quite lengthy. Again, in spurts.
Ugh.
Whew. Nathan, I haven't heard or seen anything from your page. That's okay. You don't have to prove that you don't love me. You already have. I will not block you. I will, though, ask you to no longer text me unless it's done in the spirit of love and as a son should respect his father. Please allow your broken heart to heal. When you let go of the problems of the past, then you can see how to solve the situation that you find yourself in today.
Oh. He's so patronizing, isn't he?
That's a word that exists.
Let's rewind this a bit and try and put our emotional cap on here. Okay.
Where would you like me to start? I'll stop at where he stopped. Okay. Nathan, I haven't heard or seen anything from your page. That's okay. You don't have to prove that you don't love me. You already have. Stop.
Oh.
Okay. Emotional cap.
Yeah. Why is anyone say to me where it is in human nature that says you have to love your father? Is there anything in the laws of nature that says you have to do that? No, there's a law in a book, isn't there? Yeah. In Holy Bible. You gotta respect your mother and your father, you hear? Even though they beat your ass. You gotta do it. Do it! That's what it says in this book. Right? Well, I don't care what that book says, really. Some of it's okay. Some of it's quite nice. Some of it's beautiful. But that means nothing in the real world. You are not obliged to love anyone. And in some levels, you don't owe anyone a goddamn thing. You don't. But because human beings can be loving and can be kind, and it's part of our makeup to be so, we do those things. And you can have love and kindness and affection and all these beautiful things that we experience. But we don't owe anybody anything. You seem to think that your son owes you everything. You know, the breath of life. Gave him the breath of life. You sound like some kind of idiot preacher from the 19th century. You don't sound like an adult at all from the modern age. Start respecting people's emotions, for goodness sake. Stop it. Oh.
Okay.
He's so nice.
Next block.
Right. Next block of blur.
Okay. I will not block you. I have no idea.
How kind.
Wait. I will not block you. I will, though, ask you to no longer text me unless it is done. Unless it's done in the spirit of love. And as a son should respect his father. Now, hold on. Let me again, word for word. Quote, I will not block you. I will, though, ask you to no longer text me unless it done in the spirit of love and as a son should respect his father. End quote.
Oh, I can't even use proper grammar. Oh, that grinds my gears. Oh. So he's putting provisos of an emotional nature on your communication. How does that work?
It doesn't. I won't allow it.
Even if you were to want to do that, but you don't.
Okay.
How does it work? How would you convince this man that you were, what was it again? A spirit of love and showing respect.
Done in the spirit of love and as a son should respect his father.
Two. So spirit of love and as a son should respect his father. So there's two provisos there that he's going to be judging any future comment from you. So there's two. There's your criteria. How do you apply those? How do you meet those criteria? It's absurd.
That's a good question.
How much obeisance do you need to do? How many sacrifices do you need to do? How many times do you need to call him father with a big capital F until he's satisfied? Now, I only have your word for this, Nathan, but you were beaten savagely by this man, and he's expecting ridiculous criteria for response from you. How do you meet that?
By going, I will answer that by going and stating here's an olive branch. You will contact me so that way I know it is on record, and you cannot gaslight me by saying no, I did not say that.
Yeah,
I will talk to you. Sure, fine. But it is on my terms.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, tough cookies.
But Nathan, you owe him respect because a book said,
Respect is earned, not given. Here's
book said,
respect is earned, not given. He taught me that.
yeah, well, that's a good thing to teach, and I'm glad you're applying it because it does have to be earned. And the good thing is, respect can be earned through good behaviour. It can. I like to think that people. Whoops. I like to think that people respect me because I'm basically a decent person. I like to think so. And I've earned that over the years in this community by trying to be polite and courteous and respectful and compassionate to people. So I've earned a certain level, I hope, of respect by doing that. But I've had to do things to get it. This guy is demanding it. And not only
Right. And I
demanding,
don't
but expecting
I see that
criteria to be.
and I will not allow it.
It's just awful.
All right. Block 3. Please quote, please allow your broken heart to heal. When you let go of the problems of the past, then you can see how to solve the situation that you find yourself in today. End quote.
What, you need a time machine now? So hang on. You need to let go of the past. You know, it's just like Back to the Future, but in a twisted version, isn't it? You got to let go of the past to solve the present, and see the future.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that doesn't make much sense, does it? But it's issued like a papal massive, isn't it? You know, oh, here's a way to solve your problems, my son. All you need to do is do this. And it always conveniently leaves out the brutal treatment he dealt out to you, doesn't it? All these solutions that he offers you in a nice blur of text never actually make him address those issues at all. Because you've let them go, you see. And linking this in with the Jehovah's Witnesses, oh, it's okay for a child to be abused sexually, mentally, emotionally, physically. It's fine because they won't recall it in the future because it won't be brought to mind. Neither will it come up into the heart. So all the past is irrelevant. A child can be abused every day of its life, but it won't recall it. It'll be fine. It's this kind of callous disregard for how we are as people that is one of the most disgusting things about the cult and how you were treated. It's this disregard of the fact that we are emotional beings that disgusts me the most.
That's a fair observation. Now, my response to him, real simple, point and direct. Ephesians 6:4.
I just quoted a Bible verse at him. Nice.
No, I quoted a passage, not the verse, a passage.
Bible reference and sent it. Nice.
And he responds with, I don't quote script, just from my heart to yours. Twitch.
I don't send stuff like that to you. Is that what he's saying?
No, what he's saying is that the poignant piece of that isn't I don't quote script. It is just from my heart to yours. He is trying to reach me emotionally, and I will not allow it.
Yes, he's trying to definitely trigger emotional responses all the time, and using that already discredited earlier you owe me stuff because I'm your dad nonsense from the
Mm-hmm.
Bible. From my heart to yours. But where was your heart when you were beating your son? Fair question. Where
Fair.
was it? What was your heart feeling when you struck him? You want to talk about feelings. You want to evoke an emotional response. I'm trying to evoke an emotional response in you. How did you feel when you did that? What was in your heart? I have no
Was it
idea
love?
because you are so far apart from who I am inside me that I cannot possibly know. Because I would never strike a child or an adult. The only exception is if my life was in peril and I had to defend myself.
Yeah, you
And
have
then
a
it would
right
be
to
the
defend yourself. That's survival
it would
instinct.
be the least to sustain my health and the health of anyone around me who was with me. That's the
Correct.
exception.
Now,
And that's how any human being should be. So what was in your heart
mhm,
beat your child? I want to know. Are you going to have the
so do
courage?
I. He won't respond to that. He will not actively respond to that. He will avoid it.
Of course.
Period.
I don't recall. It's probably the best you would ever get if you summoned him into a court.
I don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
Here's another active invitation of, all right, here, if you want to, not forcing you, if you want to, come on or leave a comment or something to the effect of, here's my side. Sure, but it will be on my terms.
and also, but significantly, it provides this man with the ability to pre-write what he wants to respond, take his time, and also significantly, it won't be altered. No one's going to be editing it. Once it's on there, it's on there.
Yeah.
Be able to edit it because there'll be a little edit function for it. I don't know if that's on there forever, but or if it's there for a while. I'm not technical, but you'll be able to edit it, but your son won't be able to. So you will be able to have your say.
And I will say, all right. I will say this on record. If you have the intestinal fortitude to leave a comment, I'll leave it as is. Period. I will leave it as is and address it even.
Also on record.
Correct.
You can't say fairer than it's more than you deserve. And maybe that's the beauty of the human condition, is that you don't deserve this chance, really. You really don't. Nathan doesn't have to give you this. He owes you nothing. And it's a testament to his decency as a
Thank you
human
for
being
that.
and that he is offering you this. And he's also motivated by the best of reasons, which is love for his wife and his child.
I'll get to that. He
So
addresses
you're lucky
Ooh.
anything. You're lucky you're getting anything. And maybe that's the beauty of human beings, is that we can give chances to people. But you've got to dig yourself out of that hole, and that's for you to do. No one else.
Yeah.
Get help.
Okay. My response to I don't quote script just from my heart to yours is New Living Translation. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather, bring them up with the discipline and instruction that comes from the Lord. I quote Ephesians 6:4 from the New Living Translation. His response to that, quote, the scripture uses the word children or child. What does that have to do with this moment? End quote. That's
So he's been referring.
Go.
He's been referring to you as son all the way through this, making you almost a child in a grammatical kind of way, the way we think of words, and then he's twisting it around when it's you'll always be my son no matter what.
Now I saw that and chose to ignore it, and then spoke of what this actually has to deal with. Now, me,
Yeah,
hold on. I don't give a fuck what happens to me. I am an adult that can defend myself. What I state is, you will not do to my child what you did to me. That was my response to his, what does this have to do with this moment?
Well said.
Do to my child what you did to me. And we get another long paragraph. Whew. Here we go. In what way is she yours? What do you contribute or have you contributed to her well-being, monetarily, emotionally, spiritually? How are you here? How are you here, Father? Nah. You're afraid that she has forgotten you. Quit wasting your time being vengeful and vindictive and spend that time and strength on preparing to help KK financially. What have you done for your daughter today? Good question, isn't it? We both know you have done nothing. End quote.
Oh, he's just so disgusting. Right. I need to just take a few moments just to breathe.
It's all right.
He's just attacking you all the time.
I know.
There's not one moment of anything that I recognize as a loving father towards his son. As I've experienced that. I mean, yeah, I just, but nothing. He's totally destroyed his own argument for getting in touch with you because he expects you, he demands that you. Earlier he said, okay. Earlier he said that if any more communication from you had to show the respect that a son deserves from his father, yeah?
Correct.
And then he says, he completely, in the first line he says in response, destroys that argument. What was that first line again?
When he states to my response of, this is me speaking, you will not do to my child what you did to me. His first sentence to that is, in what way is she yours?
See, he completely destroys his own argument. You're my son no matter what.
Oh, I get it. So you're stating that I'm his son. Wait, hold on. You're stating that I'm his son, so therefore you will respect me. But what have you done with or for your daughter in any positive manner? So she's not your daughter.
Well, he's kept her away from you. I'd say that was worthy of a medal.
Not only did I keep her away from him, without me being in her life by uh, extenuating circumstances that I had
Exactly.
no control of.
It was
Yeah.
best for your daughter. And that must have been a very difficult decision, and I applaud you for it. That took a lot of
Yeah.
courage to do
That I
that.
do that.
So
But
well
she
done.
will never, ever have anything to do with what I had to deal with inside the witnesses.
No
She
witness.
is she is not a born in. The buck stopped with me.
Yep. No pinches at the Kingdom Hall to keep you quiet. And so it escalates. No,
Yeah.
never experienced that. I'd say that was wonderful. That was a wonderful thing myself. And I think, I hope, that when she reaches the age of majority, she will see that too. Once she understands, I think she will understand. She would appreciate that too. I hope so.
She's got my head. I mean, she's got my mentality. So the curiosity will probably help in that manner.
Okay, and in response to that first comment of his, which is, ugh. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks.
All right, which one are you speaking of? Because I want to read it. Are you talking about the next sentence? There's a lot of that.
Oh, right. Okay, there's more, is there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, let's hear it then.
Okay. Oh
If you
Jesus, there is more of this.
talk
All
about
right. He switches subjects.
oh,
He switches subjects. Son, have you ever cried over your mother's death yet? How have
oh,
uh-huh. 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 That is not for him to know.
what the fuck gives him the right to ask a question like that?
He's my father.
Oh yeah, I forgot. A book says, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's right, isn't he, Nathan? That's right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
Isn't it
me
time
too.
we did an act of obeisance to him or offered a lamb's liver or something because he's such a great dad? Yeah, every hour, isn't it? What a horrible
Ugh.
thing. No right to ask questions like that. None at all.
I have a right to not answer.
Yeah.
I saw it for what it was, and excuse me, let me word this correctly. I chose to actively not respond to that because I know that he was trying to evoke an emotional response.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. Meet it with the silence it deserves.
Hmm? Hold on, let me check something quick. Yeah. To back up a little bit, after I stated, "You will not do to my child what you did to me," I chose to stop the conversation there. I chose to stop responding.
Right. Good.
Everything else is him. Okay? Just to qualify that. All of everything else is him. So, son, have you ever cried over your mother's death yet? Have you pissed off Brit? Here we go. Have you dealt with the loss of my daughter? And he uses a abbreviation of her name in that.
Yeah.
So it's, how have you dealt with the loss of your daughter? I choose to not answer that question as well. Because you don't need to know what I know.
It's just, everything for him is he's owed everything. Everything is his. Your deepest emotional responses to the loss of your mother and the emotions you feel about your daughter, he wants those.
Yeah.
They're not yours to keep and cherish or to deal with as you will. It is. Everything you've got is because he's got a sperm and it made you, so you're his. So everything you have is his. And the book says so.
Huh.
So what's your problem? Why haven't you dropped the past? Why aren't you a millionaire? Why aren't you buying a Ferrari for your daughter for her 18th birthday? And then you can suddenly have all the rights that I seem to think I have over you. Horrible thing. I'm glad you just stopped responding because if you had a very close relationship with your father, if he hadn't have beaten you and treated you in a loving and kind way, then you may well have shared those feelings with him. You may well have done. But it would have been,
You are
as all
correct in that statement.
choice. It would have been your choice. And you could or not. He's demanding.
And that segues into his next little comment. How did you show, quote, how did you show your dad love today? You had the chance.
What did you do today to make you feel proud? Whatever that song says.
Right?
What kind of mystic preacher? It's like that. It's the whole Obi-Wan thing again, isn't it?
Yeah.
What have you done to show love today? Well, what the hell business is it of yours? Here's the way you could show love today. Answer his damn questions in the format.
Hey, how about
Asked you.
this? How about this? I'll make it extremely simple. Answer a single question and own up to it. One singular, solitary question. That is it. Why did you do the things that you did to me? Period.
There you go.
That is
That's
it.
show love today. If you're watching this at some point, that's how you can show love today. Answer your son's question.
Huh. Huh. Okay. Everything, like I said, everything that he states. Blah, 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 I can't even speak. Everything from now on is him. I stopped responding. So, next one. You know what's cool? I can delete these texts and get on with the future. You know what's sad? You can't.
Oh, he's getting really aggressive now, isn't he? Because you're not responding. How dare
Mm-hmm.
you respond? I'm going to start getting a bit aggressive now. Hey, you know what's cool? I don't give a shit about you. I can delete this and get on with my fucking life. You can't. You'll never forget me. You fucking piece of
See,
filth.
I will qualify why I'm doing this. And I even made a video about it. I believe it's entitled Why I and Other Ex-Jehovah's Witnesses Choose to Do YouTube Videos. It's in my playlist somewhere. Look it up. Watch it. That will answer that question. Or hell, no, not question, that statement. That I can't, I choose. I addressed that prior. I chose to do this, to warn people, to help people wake up. And they can
And
take.
because,
Go ahead.
sorry, carry on.
And they can take whatever that they want from said videos or whatever, and run with it. If it applies, then discard it. It is up to the individual that sees whatever video I'm speaking about or in or whatever, what have you.
You see, you're also helping other people to recognize these very, very unhealthy, negative tendencies. Because whenever this man leaves a text, he's telling us how these twisted people act and think and feel. And we can say, oh, do we know people like that? Are people like that with us? Because the cult was like that with us, wasn't it? It told us what to wear and what to think and what to feel and how to be and what gender we were and everything. And everything was totally tickety-boo and everything was in a rule book somewhere.
Yep.
You see, there's similarities. You expect your son to meet criteria if he wants to communicate with you. And then when he chooses not to answer those very personal questions, what do you do? Hey, you know what's cool? Hey, I'll tell you what's cool. We don't give a crap. This is for you. I don't care if you get better or not. It's not going to make any difference to my life. Nathan's only doing this because he's loving and kind to people he cares about and loves. To his credit.
And I would venture to guess that he would completely disagree with that statement.
Of course he would. Because it's all seen through his own filter. That he is always right. And better than you. And better than me. And better than Amanda. And better than Linda. He's better than all of us. Anyone who's had anything to comment on this, we're all wrong. Like that Wayne and Dover guy, got it all wrong.
Huh.
That's what it is. We've got it all wrong. We should be discarding all this rubbish. We're not making any difference. And you should be a millionaire and buying Ferraris for your daughter so you can claim some kind of rights over her. And I should be getting on with doing whatever I do. And so on. Because it's all worthless. Because he's got it right. You see, he's left the cult. He's so wise and brilliant. He's decided just to abandon everybody. But he still demands your respect and a relationship with you because it says so in a book. So what is it? What exactly has he left behind? He's now in a Jehovah's Witness church of one person, isn't he? He's the governing body of his own little church. Oh, you're a truly pathetic little man. And I'm glad I'm not you. I really.
And again, every statement that you make, if he comes on and proves you wrong and proves me wrong, sure, fine.
Yeah, I'll issue an apology. I will. For everything I've said. I've stated it. I'm stating it again. Come on and prove us wrong. And even if we are wrong, wouldn't the compassionate and decent and mature thing to do be to forgive us? And say, oh, these people are upset. Maybe I need to just show some compassion here and just say, oh, look, hey, emotions are high. It's all okay, guys. Here's how it is. That would be nice.
And see, the thing is, I try to, well, no, I do or do not. There is no try. I pad the emotional response with facts, with things that I can prove. And I've addressed that in part 1 and 2 in this. I can prove that I have scars. I can prove that I have mental damage because of this. I can prove these things. What can he prove?
I don't recall.
God damn it, man.
That's what he'd say. I don't recall. I'll say it in the public record. You, sir, are a coward. You are. Only cowards beat children. And cowards are afraid all the time. So what are you afraid of? I have my fears, but it doesn't make me beat people. What are you so afraid of that would make you so cowardly? I don't understand.
I will venture a guess, and if then, and this is my opinion, and he can prove me wrong at this, and whatever, what have you. But loss of control, that'd be my guess.
Yeah. It would fit in with the abuse beginning as you reached puberty, wouldn't it? As you started becoming a man on that long road.
Yeah.
To that. And that's when it started. When you were a little bitty kiddie, he was quite nice to you. But then suddenly you start becoming a man. Respect my authority. You know, that's
Man.
in a very twisted and dark way. Because I love you, son. Well, no, you
And
don't.
if you go ahead.
You don't love someone by brutalizing and treating your child and making them afraid. You don't love or respect anyone by making them afraid. You just don't. That's not love.
All right. Add to that statement. I know that there are worse off people than I. I know there are.
There were. I would phrase it a little differently because we were discussing beforehand, weren't we? I would say there are people who have suffered more extreme abuse in the same way that you did. There are people who've suffered more extreme abuse in lots of different ways. But there isn't a league table of suffering. Someone can still experience the same emotions. I mean, I wasn't physically beaten to the extent that you were, but I was smacked as a child and it did affect me. So I can have a glimpse into how that would feel. And I know the emotional range that would elicit. And therefore, I can empathize and say, if I max that out to 100%, oh my goodness me. And at that moment, I'm in your shoes. This man does not have the ability to do that. I do, you do. Most normal, healthy people can do that. Even if I wasn't physically struck as a child, I could still use another emotional traumatic moment and have some idea, some glimpse of how that must be. That's how human beings should be and are mostly. We have individuals like your father who don't seem to be able to do that. So I've just talked you through how to do that, sir. I've just given you a verbal version of what that empathy is. You take an emotional moment from your own life and you use it to consider the emotional range of the person who's suffered whatever it is. And conversely, it works when people are happy as well, doesn't it?
Yes.
If someone's joyful and happy, we've had joyful and happy moments. We can empathize and think, wow, isn't that lovely that someone's happy? That's a beautiful thing. People are in love. People are loving each other. People are happy. People are friendly. This is a good and beautiful thing. And we can appreciate that. That's the wonder of being a human being. This man cannot do that. He can't see joy in your joy. Even, can he? He can
I
only
don't
see
know.
less than. He never expresses any joy for you. Did he ever say, well done, son, for marrying such a lovely woman and having such a lovely woman in your life?
Actually, I can answer that. There was a conversation that my wife and I and him had on over Skype, and this was a while ago, and there is no record of it. I cannot prove it, but don't take my word for it. If he can qualify it, then fine. But he asked my wife, "When did you know that you fell in love with my son?" And she answered in kind, and it was a beautiful thing. It was a fatherly thing to ask. So he has, to some extent, answered that, in my opinion.
But is he experiencing joy vicariously? Oh, it's only because I raised him. You know, I don't know. I don't like to
I don't know either. I don't.
add stuff to people. They've already done bad things. But
Just because you're right once doesn't make you right all the time.
exactly. And also, just because you're good to people, and one of the things that struck me in one of the previous broadcasts was when you and Amanda were discussing when they were nice to you and how you felt when they were nice to you afterwards. Like, I've just beaten you. Oh, give me a hug.
That, yeah.
I've just ice cream. I've just beaten you. Here's a trip to the cinema. And that feeling was really, I felt that in my bones. That was horrible because they don't understand how messed up that is and how confusing that must be. I have a tiny glimpse of that, a tiny understanding, and it does give me empathy for you. And it's horrible. I mean, just a tiny glimpse of it I've got from experiencing what I've experienced. It's horrible. It's almost, it would be better almost for them to always be horrible. Because then it's one channel, isn't it? But then you get
Yeah.
this flip to another one where they're nice, and then it flips back again, and you don't know what they're going to be at any time. That is horrible. Oh my goodness me.
All right.
Now, anyone with a heart, and I use that metaphorically, of course,
Right.
should feel something about this. And I'm sure anyone listening to this who has a normal emotional response to life will be moved by this. I certainly was. Still am.
Thank you.
So here's an opportunity for your father to have his say unedited, have a response, and if he wants to start getting towards a decent relationship, then the first thing he has to do is own what he did. Admit it.
Mm-hmm.
Accept it. I did that to
And
my
then,
son
and then
and to
on
my
top
wife.
of that, and then on top of that, he would have to not earn my trust. He'd have to go through my wife and earn hers first. That is a Herculean effort.
Very wise. But there's a path, isn't there? Difficult, but
Mm-hmm.
bless you. There is a path for him. And he should be on his knees
Now,
thanking the Lord Jesus Christ for the mercy. But instead, what's he doing? Doing this horrible stuff to you still. Should be thanking God for his opportunity. Hard as it is, almost impossible as it is. And instead, you demanding to know how you feel, demanding respect,
mm-hmm.
setting criteria for any
Now
response. I mean, you don't respect. Oh,
here's a thought. Here's a thought. All right. Not to sway you from your British tirade, but um,
he's he said this would happen.
right. Um, I state that he would have to go through my wife first because that's what happens. It's she is willing to protect me mentally because she knows and has spoken with this person. She knows the type, she has her own opinion of how he is as a person. Okay. So she will be in a protective mode. He has stated to me, and I will not quote this, but it is, I will give an idea of, yeah, I'll give an idea of what I mean by this. He has stated, again, not quoting, that I hide behind a woman. Let that sink in.
Hide behind a woman. Okay.
Yep. I hide behind my wife. I let her speak for me.
'50s man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Again,
you let your wife speak for you. Means you're not a man.
I cannot. I cannot prove that statement. So there's an asterisk with that. There's another opportunity of I did or did not say that, and this is what I meant by it. So again, addressing family. All right. His next little tirade. What have you ever done to show your grandmother that you love her? What good thing will you do today, or have you ever done for any of your family? I can answer that. I've kept my family away from you. I've kept my daughter away from you.
Okay, so just for a bit of qualification, your grandmother on your father's side, yes? So it's your father's side of the family.
He does not state that.
Right, so it could be.
So it could be either. Both of them, I believe, are still alive. I know my grandmother on my mother's side is still alive. I do not know whether or not my grandmother on my father's side is still alive.
Okay. Are they Jehovah's Witnesses? Well, that's up to you, isn't it? What's that to do with him? If they'd have been Jehovah's Witnesses, you may not have been able to speak to them because you're not a JW anymore. And now that they're not JWs, well, that's for you to decide. In your circumstances and in your situation, what you do, isn't it? I'm not going to sit here and go, I'm going to judge. I'm going to judge someone for how they treat their grandparents or not treat or do this or do. No. That's up to you. It's nothing to do with him. What's he doing? Is he doing anything? How is he always asking you about stuff? And he's never answering what he's doing. Now, he could say, look, hey, son, well, look, I go and take him a comfort basket every week with a bottle of sherry and what are you doing? He's not saying I'm doing stuff you're not helping or you could help me do this. Oh, here's a bonding moment. Why don't we both go and see Grandma? Wouldn't that be nice? No, let's pummel you. What are you doing? What are you doing? How are you doing this? How did you show love today?
So the
Answer
whole thing with family. But he will not even address my one question. But that'd be owning it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be admitting that he beat his son.
His
That's
family.
what he did. Which is family, his own flesh and blood, who he breathed life into.
That blows my mind, man.
He'd have to admit it. He'd have to own it. He'd have to wear it and be it. Now, I, for the grace of God, for want of a better expression, have never done anything like that. And I hope that I go to my grave without ever having something like that on my conscience. That'll be my reward for a decent life. Now, there are those out there, like your father, like other people out there, who have done things that are awful and bad. You could label them evil if you wanted to. They have to deal with that. I'm not going to judge them. It's not for me to do that. If they've broken a law, then perhaps they'll be expected to answer to that, maybe not. That's for them to deal with. And that's for them to have to come to terms with. And I wish them well going forward. But my reward, hopefully, will be that I haven't done those things. It doesn't make me a better person. Therefore, the grace of God, go I. But I
Right.
like to think I would never do those awful things. But I don't know. Don't think I would. I've never done those things. I don't intend to. So maybe if you answered that question, what was in your heart when you struck your child? Maybe that would help us all to avoid doing that. If you help somebody, you never know. But that would take some courage, wouldn't it? That would take some understanding that other people are important, that your son's feelings are important, that his wife's feelings are important. We can go on. Make that first step. If you really want to be a man, as you seem to claim you are, for want of a better term, and be a man and comment and address that question. That's a start. Then you can call yourself a man. I would prefer the term a human being myself.
All right. All right. I've got to move on to the next one. All right. And it's
Okay.
going to be
Sorry, I talk for England.
it's
And
it's
St.
okay.
George.
It's okay. I've got Nathan, do you know the current term cognitive dissonance? Yes,
Oh.
yes, I do. Yes, I do, and I know exactly what it means. Even though your life is ruled by hate, I still love you, Nathan. Okay. I just can't trust you anymore.
He can't trust you.
Yes.
That's the big concern. He can't trust you.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not thinking, can my son trust me not to physically assault him again? Never comes up in his mind. Oh, that's because he's never addressed it. He's never done those things. I don't recall. He's never done those things. It's just the past. And remember, in that book it says that it won't be brought to mind. Neither will it come up into the heart. Sorry if that triggered anybody. One of the most hateful scriptures I've ever read. Because instead of it being used as a hope that we can overcome and become that broad, beautiful person we are, all that we can be, to, oh, it's okay for people to suffer because they won't think about it, it won't come up, as an excuse to continue and perpetuate suffering. That's horrible. It shouldn't be that, but that's what it has become. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Next one. Do you even know your grandfather's name? And
Skywalker.
I would assume that he is speaking of his father, because both my granddads, because there is a biological grandfather and a grandfather from a second marriage.
Right. Okay.
Okay. On my mother's side. And both of those have passed, to my knowledge. So he's talking of his father. And I can answer, yes, I do. You have told me his name. With the price of eggs in China.
Yeah. How does that answer your son's question?
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, I didn't recognize the time on this. It is now 12:41 p.m. here where I'm at.
Right.
So 20 minutes ago, how does it feel to be in the same town with my granddaughter and not be able to see her or hug or kiss her or even speak with her? How do you think she feels knowing that her mom and dad weren't married and don't love each other?
Oh, it's like a Young People Ask article, wasn't it? That was straight out of JW fucking .org. What? She doesn't sit there and think about, oh, if only mummy and daddy had loved each other. Children don't think that way.
No.
They don't. I was one once, long time ago, and they don't think that way. I work with children. They don't
Oh,
think that way.
oh God. Okay, I've got to run through these because he is actively texting me right now.
We got him riled. Well, come on
I
then.
don't.
If he's
Huh?
come on the show.
Oh man.
Oh, he's riled.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if he watched this. But all he has to do is go and state, "Yes, I will speak to you." I gave my
Yeah.
terms. It is on him to actively state, "I will speak to you." I have given him that chance. He knows it. He's seen it. I have texted him this, so he knows how to get a hold of me. So there is no reason that I should give that to him again. He knows that.
No,
So
don't. You don't need to do anything. It's down to him. And don't respond to any of these texts because that's not the way that he communicates with you.
yes.
He's the child now. It's like a classroom. No, we don't talk during class. Teacher's speaking now. If you want to speak, you put your hand up. And if I choose to stop talking, I'll pick your hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's the situation you're in, sir. You don't
Thank
get
you
to
for qualifying that.
you don't get to talk right now via text. That's not how it works. If you want to talk, you come on this show or you comment underneath the video. That's how it works. Son,
Huh. Oh, sir.
I'm not
Oh.
by you.
I just want to say thank you for being on this because if I was to have done this alone with him actively texting me like this, I would be shaking. And I am not because I have someone else there to bounce this off of and get a unbiased, I would hope, opinion about what is actively going on. So it keeps me in check, as I stated earlier.
You're very welcome. It's my honor and pleasure.
Thank you. No, okay. Married, don't love each other. All right. When is your grandparents' birthday? When did your grandfather died?
You can't even use correct English. It's terrible.
Mm.
If you're going to abuse, use grammar. Come on. There must be some standards here.
Grinds my gears.
Grinds my gears. I'm a teacher, goddammit. Stop upsetting me.
Again, what does that have to do with the price of eggs? Are you trying to... Oh, no, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get my sense of family and gauge where that stands in my head. That's mine.
Yeah.
That is mine. I will choose whether or not to state anything that I know.
Yeah.
Next one. You know next to nothing about any of your family. Again, that's my choice.
And also, in response to that, didn't you raise your son in a cult that actually put people off talking to non-religious, non-JW family members?
That's a good
Sir?
point. That is a very good point.
They already set him up not to be involved in their lives, didn't you? And now you're castigating him for it. Oh no, he's had some other things on his mind as well, hasn't he? Instead of going and giving a basket to Granny and Grandpa, he's had to be dealing with being beaten as a child. That's pretty tough.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you may not go and give that gift basket to Grandma because, you know, you're having a bad day because of that. Ever thought of that? Just throwing it out there for you.
Ooh. Evoking emotional response like a motherfucker. I will stay calm in this. I have to. Because he is epically trying very, very hard to evoke an emotional response. So I will state what is.
Okay.
All right.
Can we start having a bit of illegal gambling on what the next question will be? Perhaps it'll be, what was the name of your grandmother's cat?
See? No, actually. It's it strikes at... Well, I'll just read it. What did you do to daughter that was so bad that you can have no contact with her? Can you handle the responsibility of what you've done to her life?
Oh, that's low.
Very.
That is subterranean. So you beat your child, and now you're asking him, and the innuendo, of course, is did you sexually molest your daughter? That's what he's really asking. Let's cut away the shit and start asking the real question, you coward. That's what you're asking.
Bitch. I didn't... Wait. I didn't recognize that.
That's what you're
Given time, I would have eventually gotten to that point, but you immediately saw it. Holy shit.
How'd you live with being a child molester, Nathan? How'd you live with yourself, you sick pervert? That's what he's asking. Right?
Holy shit, sir.
You are a depraved man, Nathan's father. You really are.
And again, I have used his name once in this, and that was my bad. It was I cannot recall. There is record of it, and it was wrong of me. Oops. But I use my name freely. You're an adult. And I have not said my daughter's name. She is a minor. There's anonymity for you. Period.
And here's the reply on behalf of my friend Nathan. Sir, do you really think that Child Protection Services, the police, and any other agency that would be involved didn't fully investigate that? And do you really think that your son would be sitting a free man if he had have done any of that? What a horrible thing to ask your son. Obviously innocent.
He keeps going with it.
Oh, of course he will.
He keeps going with it. What did you do, son? It must have been something really bad. He's digging. Quote.
Yeah, he's digging.
Quote, it must have been something really bad. End quote.
Oh, and also, Nathan, he's got a get out of jail free card. Because remember earlier we were saying about levels of abuse being in a hierarchy, and that's the absurd thing that people think.
Off of camera, yes.
He's thinking, wow, if my son's a child molester, that's way worse than beating your kid in this community. I'm less bad than my son. He's trying to turn the whole thing back on you.
Now, is that all right? Is that said in a state and manner of love? Is that coming from a place of love? Hell no. No.
Of course it isn't.
Use your own parameters, dick.
Physician, heal thyself. Start applying your own moral questions to yourself first. And if you want a Bible verse, I'll give you one. The Lord Jesus said something very wise in Matthew chapter 7. He said, do not judge other people unless you want to be judged. And he said, why do you say to the person with a straw in their eye, let me get that straw out, when you've got a rafter in your own? I say, sir, that you have many rafters in your eyes.
He would state that I have the rafter.
Yeah, of course he would. But who was the one saying, oh, let me sort you out? It was the one with the rafter, wasn't it? And what's he saying to you? Let me sort you out. Hey, the past is the past, man. Come on. I've got a book that says you've got to respect me. But your daughter doesn't have to respect you because you haven't put $1.75 into a savings account. Or whatever the fuck bullshit he was thinking at the time. He's just switching everything. Oh.
Saving for college, a trust fund, if you will.
Yeah.
Now I will come back at that with where the fuck is mine?
Yeah. Nathan could easily go to university now. He'd be an excellent student. I would predict you would do extremely well. You're an intelligent man, and you'd do well.
All right. So all right. I will qualify that statement as well with something he has told me that only he would know because my mother's dead and this, that, and the other. But I can only take him at his word from this. Okay. From an early age, there was, because of what happened to me, because of my cerebral palsy and the baseball-sized tumor, whatever, what have you, that was caused by the metal forceps, a test was done on me, I believe. And in this test, I was to point out colors of blocks. Now, point to the red one, point to the yellow one, point to the purple one, point to the blah, 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 so on and so forth. Without even knowing the colors and being able to recognize red is red, blue is blue, green is green, I was able to do that without the knowledge of what color was what.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So I have genius in me. I have a very high IQ. On top of the fact that because of circumstances that involved my daughter, the state paid for basically what amounts to an IQ test for both me and the mother of my child. They told the mother of my child, no, screw it. That is not that is not mine to say. legally, that would not be mine to say. What I can say is what they told me, because it is about me. They asked me why in the fuck I'm not in college.
Yeah. So where's his college fund? I thought you were a wealthy man. I thought you could easily pay for college for both of them, couldn't you? So Julie would. Sorry, your wife wouldn't mind going getting some courses or whatever the hell.
Right?
Is the key? Where is it? Oh, I forgot. He's got criteria to meet, hasn't he? Hang on. It's what's the time? It's time for another sacrifice in 2 minutes. And we've just heard this chicken liver's getting a bit boring. So we've got to shift it on up to what's bigger than a chicken that we could offer? It's readily
A
available.
horse?
Oh, that's pushing it a bit high. Come on, man. We don't want to suck up too much, do we? He might actually be nice to us. How about a nice small piglet? A nice piglet. Yes, we'll sacrifice a nice piglet to Daddy because he deserves it. Because he's God.
Mm.
What have you done? Oh, what's the name of the second cousin twice removed of your great grandfather? By the way, you don't know.
Hell if I know. I don't even know if I have one. How about that?
Oh, this obviously proves to me that you have no regard for anyone else. It obviously makes you an evil person because you can't answer that question. And your dad is obviously right. Being sarcastic, just in case you didn't know. You know, it's
Quite.
I hope he's stopped by now. Has he stopped spewing?
There's one more. There's one more. Only one more. Do you think she loves you, Nathan? How could she? She doesn't know you. Now, my question to that is, how in the fuck do you know that?
Yeah. And also, that's got two meanings, hasn't it? She doesn't know you as in she's not living in your home, but also she doesn't know you because you're that horrible molester. What did you do, Nathan? See, he's digging again. Very, very nasty. And I'm glad I'm not like that. But that's what he's doing. It's rather horrid. Double meaning to that.
That's a good qualifier. And we are done.
Hey. And he did.
Oh my God, we are done.
And he didn't come on. What a surprise.
Uh-huh. But there's always another. Always. So
yeah. And there's always the comment section underneath this. This will be for people to watch, including you.
And I will state again at the end of this, I will screen share this so you can see this as well. Recording conversations in all 50 states.
And I shall state for the record that you have my full permission to record this conversation that I've been involved in and to place it wherever you wish. There.
Thank you. Iowa.
But not in Iowa.
One party. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I give myself permission. That is all I need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
you see, we don't need your approval. We don't need you for anything. That's the truth.
Also in North Carolina, up here, same thing. One party. And down here, South Carolina, one party. It is stated in the same manner. It is not unlawful for an individual who is a party to, that would be me, or has consent from, that would be me, give an in-person or electronic communication, also me, because text messages ain't electronic communication, to record and or disclose the content of said communication. SC code 17-30-30, SC code 17-30-15. I give myself permission to do this. I do not need your permission. Period.
Nor does he seek it. Nor do any of us. You have your opportunity here. You're lucky to have it.
Yeah.
Many people in your position never get this opportunity. And quite rightly so, for those people, it's their choice, what they do. And I will never judge anyone who's survived any form of abuse, how they respond to it. It's up to them. But I would not want them to narrow themselves down and become the eternal victim, capital letters, eternal victim, because you're not. No one is. Not if they choose not to be. We discussed this before we went live. Don't be the eternal victim, anyone, please, because you don't deserve that. If you've been the victim of abuse, you don't deserve to be the eternal victim. You deserve to be the lovely human being that you are. That's what you deserve to be. As broad as that can be as a human being. We can embrace eternity and we can embrace the idea that there is an infinity in our little brains. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing place, your mind. You're not in a little box saying victim. You're in this lovely, rattly old brain that evolution has given you. And you can fill it with wonderful joy and knowledge. And that can give you power and strength to go and do amazing things. Go and do that. Don't be the eternal victim. Because your dad is now playing the victim card. Oh, I'm a victim. My son's being mean to me. He's playing the victim card.
I'm glad that someone else can see that.
My son's being mean to me. He's not forgetting the past. Poor me.
Oh, the sarcastic Brit. Oh, man.
I have a tiny bit of sympathy for you because I am actually a good and kind man. So I do have a tiny bit of sympathy for you. You're not going to find much around here. And take the advantage you've got. Take the chance you've got. And be a man and admit what you did. And explain why you did that. Because there is an explanation. You know why you did it. You know. So tell your son. It's the beginning of healing for both of you.
It's a good observation.
And to be fair, get some help. Because what you did to your son was horrible. It was disgusting. It was wrong. You need to know that. And
again, I am not putting myself on a pedestal. I could care less. I could care less. But it's when you bring the people that are my family, never mind the fact that you stated, well, let's see, what did you state? What did you state? Okay, what did you do to her that was so bad that you can have no contact with her? Can you handle the responsibility of what you've done to her life? Never mind all that. That is for me to know and for me to share or not. Now, my question is, what would you gain from knowing that, and how would you use it to obviously speak out of quote unquote love? That's sarcasm.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget respect due to him because he's your father, because the book says so. Don't forget that one.
Yeah.
Thank goodness that piglet cheered him up a bit, eh? Ugh, eternal gratitude.
Oh.
This is what pisses me off. People, these sociopaths like your dad, always want eternal gratitude for anything good they do. Yeah, I knocked your jaw out of place, but I did buy you a mint choc chip ice cream. Be grateful for that. Why didn't you say thank you for that choc chip ice cream last week? A year later, why aren't you grateful for that? Why aren't you grateful for this, what I gave you? I gave you life. I gave you an ice cream. I gave you whatever the fuck they're saying. Why aren't you grateful? Why does anyone have to be eternally grateful for anything? Why can't we just say thank you once and mean it? You people always, people like your dad always want to milk everything they do. Whenever they're good to you, it's not because of the act itself, more happiness in giving than there is in receiving. It's the power that gives you, and it's disgusting. It takes all these wonderful, beautiful moments of being a human being and it turns them cold and horrible. It's really, really nasty.
And and
Oh,
again, he would. I know that he would disagree with you and say that I said everything that I did out of love. Okay, dude. What does your last statement? You thinks she loves you, Nathan. How could she? She doesn't know you. Is that out of love? Is that statement out of love, or is it statement out of anger or fear or any sort of negative emotion?
it's all those
That's
negative
not
emotions.
how you qualify love.
No, he's actually, it's almost like one of those shade pictures where the shading is the actual picture. He's shading everything that isn't love, isn't he? Everything that isn't love, he's shading completely and colouring in completely. And the thing that's left is love. He doesn't know what it is. To him, it's obligation, it's ownership, it's control, it's semi obeisance and worship, which is ugh. It's all these negative things. It's all about him, isn't it? It's not. It's never
That's what
about
I
you.
can
Now,
tell.
the loving. If I was your dad, and you'd given your, I knew that your daughter had gone into adoption. I would say something like, you did the right thing at the time, son, and maybe in the future you'll better have a relationship with her. I hope so, and I'd leave it there. That would be a nice thing. Just giving you a bit of coaching, Nathan's dad, on how you could actually approach these things if you actually wanted to even attempt to be nice and actually think about other people. And yes, I did get that double barb at the end. You nasty man. Your son is a decent man. I don't think for a second that he would have done anything deliberately to harm his child. I really don't think that at all. Not for an instant. I don't know what happened, but I do know that Nathan's daughter is being well cared for, and she is completely okay.
How would you know that? You don't know her.
I
Words
I,
come out of him. Oh my God. It's just, it's one of those things that,
I have faith.
yeah.
If she's a foster home or has been adopted, then she's going to be looked after because the agencies will make sure so. So yes, I have faith in you as a person, but I also know that there will be agencies involved that will be making sure that she's okay. Now they might be underfunded and blah 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 blah, and doubt and doubt and doubt, and let's put an asterisk under it. But at some points, you have to say, look, there's been a pattern of good behaviour from this person. I think it's reasonable enough to think such and such. And conversely, if there's been a very negative pattern of behaviour, it's reasonable to think that perhaps it's more likely that something negative is going to come down the line. So all this divorcing the past, hey, the past doesn't matter. No, the past informs the present and the future for a healthy individual. It doesn't dominate you. doesn't become your life, but it does. The past does matter. It makes up partly who we are. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh well. At least there's no more declarations.
Yeah, he did done quit.
He done quit. He's done enough. Because he didn't play ball. You see,
Wait,
he didn't.
I should have shut the hell up. What did your mother ever do for excuse me, let me quote this correctly. What did you mother ever do for you, son, to make your future a better place to live?
Oh, so now he's attacking your mum.
Uh-huh.
Rest. Oh, isn't
Trying
that?
to evoke an emotional response, and I will not allow it.
And where's his emotion? This is a woman who he loved, who he married,
Yeah.
a child with. This is a deep commitment. And he's talking that way. She's not even, the poor lady's not even here to defend herself. Not that she needs to, even if she were here. What a horrible thing. He's really tugging at you, trying to get an emotional response, isn't he? He's such a blooming, ugh.
Uh-huh. And here I am sitting twiddling my thumbs going, nope.
Nope, you're not getting it. You're not getting it because it's not about you. It isn't. It's not about you.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan's fixing on moving on. He is moving on. He's got a family of his own.
How about this? Yeah, I have moved on. This is not all of what I am.
No, he's not going to be the eternal victim, as he knows he's not. This is a moment of victory and joy and relief and release. This is a good moment. Mark it well, people. This is the moment of joy. And you're not going to dampen that with this emotional attack. Nathan's dad, you're not going to do it.
And that's what this is. It is a blatant,
Yeah,
obvious
trying to
emotional attack.
Trying to drag you back into that box of being a victim so he can dominate you again. It's not working. And I bet that makes you very upset, doesn't it, Nathan's dad? Oh, why isn't it working?
Because I'm an adult.
Yeah,
I see it for what it is.
You don't matter.
Fucking son of a bitch. I may not trust or respect you, son. But I still love you.
No, you don't.
The fuck, man?
Yeah, just after
in that one sentence. Hold up. In that one sentence, in my opinion, he negates his first statement with his second.
Mm-hmm. He keeps doing that.
Yep. Actually, he's got it reversed. Respect, then trust, then love. Would you agree with that?
Well, love is a many splendid thing, isn't it? I mean, if you're talking about love between family members, then hell no, it's love first. If you're talking about love between partners, it's love first, isn't it? But how you get, it depends upon the context of the type of love you're talking about.
Okay, that's fair.
For me.
That's fair.
So love family, I just love them because they're my family. Okay, that's just a no-brainer. It's just that's what you do. In a normal, healthy life, that's what you do. Because evolution says that's a good idea. Get along with people who are closely genetically connected to you. It's a good idea. You can look out for saber-toothed cats and things. It's really good. So generally, we love our families. With our friends, then we'll meet someone, we like them, we connect with them, and that friendship grows. And then sometimes that turns into a love for someone and romantic love or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So there are many paths that love takes. I sound like a damn Christmas card or something, but um, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he's saying that all love is like that, isn't he? Because that's how he reacts, and that tells us a lot about him. So, what order did he put it in?
You may not trust or excuse me. Excuse me. Let me get this correct. Quote, I may not trust or respect you, son, but I still love you. End quote. So trust, then love, then trust, then respect, then love.
So, trust and respect, he doesn't have those for you, but magically he still loves you. Well, if this was a close father-son relationship, that would make sort of sense because he might not agree with your choices, but he'd still love you as a son. But this doesn't apply here because you're estranged and he's evil. So what he's actually trying to do is create a wedge, isn't it? Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice. So he's saying, oh, I still love you. So let me get this straight. You beat him up from the age of 11 and injure him severely, and he's still being affected by this to this day. You don't trust him, and you don't respect anything he does at all. Oh, and you think he's a pervert with his daughter as well, or done something evil to her.
That's an astute observation. Oh my God.
But he still loves you. He's so much better than you. He still loves you. It's hot. This is I keep saying it, it's horrible.
Yeah. Wait, what the?
So how this is so how not this is how it should not be. A father and son should not have this relationship. This isn't how it should be. This is so wrong. And it breaks my heart. It's
So
horrible.
this is not the way that it should be. So do what I say and love me because I'm your parent.
Yeah, and forget the past.
Man.
And
That's not how that works either. Wait, what?
Don't make me face up the fact that I beat you from the age of 11, that you've got ongoing health and mental and emotional problems because of this, that he doesn't respect you and he doesn't trust you. So what does he think about you?
Wait, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, hold up. He again, another one. And after this, I swear to fuck, I'm done. I am done. I'm gonna end this because he's switching subjects. So he blatantly attacked me. Hold up. He blatantly attacked me. Attacked a dead woman. Told me that he loved me, even though he doesn't trust or respect me. His next question, his next question, is, what does the term 8 inches per square mile mean to you? The fuck does that have to do with anything?
That's a threat. Well, it's a map reference. It's a reference to a map scale, isn't it? Inches per mile. Is he looking to drive up there?
I don't know.
That's a map. Say it again.
What does the term 8 inches per square mile mean to you? End quote.
8 inches per square mile. Well, that's quite a big scale, isn't it? It means nothing to me. That'd be a massive map, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the Google map scale. Anyway, why should we be wasting our finite time on this planet wondering about the ramblings of a madman? Really?
To warn people, that's for damn sure. Other than that,
there's no reason, is there, to even have conjecture over what this rambling nonsense means. It means nothing to me. I'm sure it means nothing to you. Who cares? He seems to think that people care about his opinion and stuff. We don't. I've had the pleasure and honour of joining you because I agree that this needs to be talked about and people need to know what happened. And for later times, your daughter needs to have a record of just what her grandfather is like. So I've just been here to be supportive.
yeah.
And to give my opinion for what it's worth. It's just my opinion. I have no training in mental health or anything like that. My training is in primary education. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
And if
Go ahead.
and I was just going to say, if an expert would like to come on and have their say, and if it were to be that everything I said was wrong, I'd admit it and say, okay, I'm sorry, it was just my opinion. Been put right. So we would certainly welcome anyone in the mental health arena to come in and help us out here. Listen to what this man says. Maybe give us your opinion. That would be helpful. Because Nathan and I aren't trained in this. And
No.
Nathan is having to live this. This is his living experience, folks. This isn't just a stream. This is Nathan's life we're talking about here. And the welfare of his wife and his daughter. It's as simple as that. It's a very important thing. So if you guys have got any mental health training and you're watching this, please give us a diagnosis. Please give us some help. That'd be good.
Yeah.
And at the very least, you've had someone here to be with you while you've done this, which is a good thing. If nothing else happened.
Fair assessment. And like I said, someone to bounce what he says off of and get a different opinion of what he's saying.
Exactly. And unlike your father, we understand that real happiness and joy is made up of little moments of just being kind. It isn't grandiose solutions given by text. It isn't grandiose gestures of devotion or whatever this man seems to want. That's all bullshit. Real love and peace and joy and a happy life is made up of just these little moments of being decent and kind to other people and loving people. That's what life is. That's what makes life happy.
Yeah.
Get that. I get that. Everyone who's been on this show gets that. It is a shame. It's a pity that your father cannot understand that. Because he can't. Because if he did, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing to you. He doesn't get it. It's for him, the whole world is as he is.
You are your own experiences.
Yeah. Him more so than any sane, rational human being. And as again, just my opinion.
But see, now hold on. You are your own experiences. That would qualify the past, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would require the past to be brought to mind, wouldn't it? Because our experiences are continually becoming the past. Every nanosecond, it becomes the past, doesn't it? Infinitesimal.
Yeah. So if he's stating that I should just forget the past and let it go and yada yada, so on and so forth, then why don't you?
Yeah.
Because everything that was stated is in the past.
Yeah.
Except for this 8 inches per square mile thing. I do not, for the life of me.
All I can think of is a scale. It's obviously a scale of something, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's quite a large. As I say, we could spend valuable time discussing this gibberish.
Right.
Whereas we've accomplished, or rather you've accomplished with me just being along for the ride, is something important. So well done, mate.
Oh, thank you. That I'm going to end this because I'm absolutely totally done with it. And also, if you go back into this stream, you will see a screen share of how I know that this is legally correct. I have legal right. I am within the law to share this because it is mine. I give myself permission to share this. Period. That is it.
And
all right.
And you have a right to reply. There's the option.
Here's an olive branch. Here, you want to get on? It's not going to be just you and me. I will say that. It will be with someone else. So that way, one, it keeps me in check. And two, that someone else, whoever that may be, can see the gaslighting or the double meaning of whatever you say.
And that person, whoever it is, will have absolutely nothing to gain by being biased and absolutely no reason to be afraid of you, Nathan's dad. No reason to be afraid of you whatsoever. So come and comment. Yeah. Come.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate your help. And I'm going to end this in 3, 2, 1. It pushes the button. I will see y'all later.